Hey guys, welcome to the second of two back-to-back Shakespeare adaptation reaction videos. This one is actually for a movie called Veeram. Just the trailer dropped, I think, last week. I just finished Hater. Actually, I recorded that a couple days ago, and I just finished that. And a lot of you guys commented on Veeram and saying it's an adaptation of Macbeth, whereas Hater was an adaptation of Hamlet. So I thought, hey, let's do a back-to-back reaction releases for these two. It's interesting because I did a little looking into Veeram ahead of time when I heard it was based on Macbeth, and it says it's the fifth entry in Jayaraj's Navarasa series. And I couldn't actually find a lot of information on the Navarasa series, so I was hoping you guys could help fill out some of that information. Couldn't find any of it on Wikipedia or anything. So are all the entries in that series based on Shakespeare adaptations, or is this just his kind of, well, that's basically what I'm looking for. I'm looking to learn more about the Navarasa series. So Macbeth, that's kind of interesting. That's another book that I read way back in the day. I remember Macduff. I remember the witches, the prophetic witches that give Macbeth kind of the prophecy that he will be king. I remember Lady Macbeth supporting her husband on the way there. So I'm kind of curious how all these adapt into Veeram. Anyway, let's check this out. A warrior. Chandralaka Films. It's a cool shot. Hell to the future.
ഒന്നും ചിന്തിക്കാനില്ല. പൂശാരിച്ച് പറഞ്ഞത് നടക്കണം. പടക്കുറുപ്പല്ല. 18 കളരിക്കും ചേകോൻ. അതാണ്ടേ. ഇങ്ങളെ മുഖ ആളുകൾ സംശയിക്കും. ഓറ പറ്റിക്കുന്ന മുഖ വേണ്ടേ. കാഴ്ചയ്ക്ക് പൂ പോലെ.
Your look should deceive people. Wait. Was that his wife talking, his lover, or was that the witches calling him a serpent? Bad deeds cause you to commit more bad deeds. Interesting. All right, so I looked it up real quick, and the actor Kunal Kapoor, he plays the role of Chekavar, who's a warrior with some sort of reputation. So right off the bat, I was actually a little confused in that trailer. I don't know. And you heard me speak to it a little bit. I don't know if in Macbeth, the Lady Macbeth thought that Macbeth, deserved to be king and was helping Macbeth, if I remember correctly. Again, it's been a long time, but so I wonder who was actually calling him the serpent. Like know yourself, know that the serpent underneath will come through. So I'm wondering actually really what that was. Who that was. That was really interesting. I didn't really get to see. So in the Macbeth play or the original story, there was the role of Macduff too, and Macduff, his family was ultimately who Macbeth killed to kind of get ahead, and ultimately led to his demise. Brought an English army over and kind of crushed him. So I'm kind of wondering who plays kind of the Macduff character in this whole thing. The synopsis, there isn't really a synopsis on like the Wikipedia page or anything. Kind of leaves it wide open. It's kind of interesting. I love the yellow color tones though. That's in the little still shot screens. But yeah, that's really confusing because they're like, you should look like an innocent flower, right? So willingly put on this front. So it's almost like this whole thing is a conscious sham. So unlike Macbeth, where it was like one lie led to another. So it was kind of a downturn. He wanted to be king, and like ended up kind of in this downward spiral to misery and bloodlust and all madness. It looked like this might be a little bit more premeditated, so I'm kind of interested to see how that plays out. But pretty cool. That's actually pretty damn cool. I mean, you can't really go wrong with a Shakespeare adaptation, right? That's the whole point. That's why they're classics, right? They're very strong thematically. So this is going to be really interesting to see how this kind of shapes up. So this was only a teaser trailer at a minute and a half, a little over a minute and a half. So I'm assuming there's a trailer coming down the pipeline. Also at the end it said trailer next. So kind of looking forward to seeing how this kind of shapes up. I don't know much about the actor, Kunal Kapoor. I'm not familiar with him at all, actually. So I think I might do a little bit more research and to see what else he's been in. Maybe it's something I've come across. So if you guys have any Kunal Kapoor recommendations or suggestions or somehow to get acquainted with this actor, please let me know. Or maybe you guys think I should start with this film. Anyway, what'd you guys think? What'd you guys think of this film? Those of you that are familiar with Macbeth, how does the adaptation seem to be shaping up? Kind of exciting that they might just veer totally away and just use kind of basic premise points, call it an adaptation of Macbeth, but end up being something kind of totally different. Not totally different, but significantly enough different that a lot of it will come as a surprise, I guess. So I'm interested to see where this kind of ends up. But I appreciate the recommendation, guys. All right, there you have it. Your second of 2 Shakespeare reaction videos. I'm sure there's a whole bunch of other Shakespeare adaptations you guys could throw at me. So, but feel free to. Maybe I'll have a Shakespeare Day number 2, part 2 down the line. Anyway, I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you with the next reaction.